Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more relationship stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. Let's crack on with today's first story. Much love, guys. Now today's first story comes from Quack Girly Anon, who says, am I the arsehole for giving my boyfriend the ultimatum to spend more time with me than his family? I'm going crazy, but I need to get this off my chest and some opinions that aren't close to us. My boyfriend, 24 male, and I, 22 female, have been together since high school. We met when I was 15 and he was 17. We hit it off massively and have always been each other's best friends. He had a strained relationship with his family, divorced mum and dad. Dad had a family with a new woman. Mum was single and focused on him. When he was around 19, his mum remarried and the new guy had 2 daughters he brought into the relationship. My boyfriend has taken to his stepsisters and is an all-around amazing older brother. That's where the biggest issue takes place. BF boyfriend, BM boyfriend's mum, BD boyfriend's dad, SD boyfriend's stepdad, OSS oldest stepsister, YSS youngest stepsister. The girls were around 13 and 10 when they came into the picture, and boyfriend would be there for them through anything. It quickly went from us having 2 date nights a week to 1 date night and 1 group babysitting session. I was fine with it for the first year, but after I graduated high school and started going to community college, I wanted more, private time. Boyfriend still lived at home though, and I live with my parents. If he came over to my place, we'd be able to get private time and space. My parents are cool with it, but the issue is, he never wanted to leave his sisters alone. Boyfriend's stepdad and boyfriend's mum would constantly skip town or go on trips or go visit friends, and boyfriend would always offer to babysit. He said he was always wanting siblings who loved him, and now he does kinda deal. Well, this has been going on for years. I asked boyfriend if we could go on a trip for our 7-year anniversary because I'm just needing to spend time with him. Originally our plan was for him and I to take a long weekend Disney trip paid by my parents. Amazing, right? He hits me with 3 weeks before we're supposed to leave. My stepdad is saying the girls are gotta go with us if I'm going to go. I said, what? That's crazy. He's not paying for it and neither are you. He can't withhold you from going. He said he's having a hard time and says if I go for a week he's going to relocate my stuff from the house. Mum's agreeing with him. I said, well, fine, you can come live with us. Me and my parents love him. He says, I don't really think that's fair to my sisters and mum. Can I pay for them to go with us? I said no, and then I didn't say anything else. He got pissed at me and I explained straight up that I'm sick of his sisters always being in our life. I understand he's excited to have loving siblings and that he loves them very much, but he isn't their parent. He isn't in charge of them, and the fact that his mum instantly was okay with parentifying him from the get-go and shoving the girls off on him was a huge, nasty red flag. He left. Pissed as fuck with me. Apparently told the girls, older stepsister who's like 17 or 18 is blowing up my phone talking about how I'm trying to isolate him from his family and I need to learn to fuck off when it comes to them. That I can't control how much time he spends with his family and that I shouldn't tell them they can't go if they can afford it. Younger stepsister sent me a text about how she's sorry that she did anything to make me hate them. I did not say I hate them. My boyfriend is acting like my issue is with them, when my issue is with us not having a good private life together. I told both of them, copying and pasting the message from one sister to the other. I have no ill feelings with either of you. I just wish I could spend private time with my boyfriend, who is also your brother that you live with, without you two always being there. I would love to plan a vacation with all of us at some point, but this was a vacation that was for me and your brother, and neither have responded to me. I sent a text to my boyfriend after it all saying, hey, I just need you to know that I don't hate your sisters. I love them, but I need us time, and I can't continue this relationship if you can't learn how to prioritize me as much as you prioritize them. And he hasn't responded. The stepdad called my dad and basically told him off for being picky how he chooses to spend his money. My dad didn't like that one at all. They were buds in the past, but a few years ago, stepdad insulted my dad in some way, and dad hasn't wanted to talk to him since then. Dad told him to go fuck himself and boyfriend better beg to be allowed to step foot in my house after this. Kinda deal. So dad's blaming boyfriend. I'm trying to handle that. Nobody is responding to me and I'm just losing my shit. I contacted our mutual friend, adding a few to the group chat. told them what's up, and one told me that the girls were abused by their mum, and their dad is a piece of shit, so my boyfriend is the only person they have to rely on in that family. But at the same time, I feel like that's partly just fucking excuses. They said I'm being too harsh on him, and I can't spring this on him years after it became an issue. The others in the group chat either were big on being too harsh on him or really against me, saying that the girls are sweet and I can't expect to punish them for me wanting more attention. Nobody seems to understand, and I'm just losing my mind. Am I wrong? Am I the arsehole? But Grim Trick says not the arsehole, but this will be your life for as long as everyone is alive. So you have to decide if you want to spend one day a week with him while he is off with family, or if you want to leave. He is no longer the young man you met, and his life is drastically different. He relies on his current parents to let him have a home, so he is the type to abide by whatever they want because he pays for nothing. Him not wanting to move in with you because of the sisters must be something his parents said to him. He is their free babysitter so they can do whatever they want. They don't give a shit about him or you. I wouldn't be surprised if the sisters shower him with love at the request of the parents to keep him thinking that he needs to drop anything and everything in his life for them. But your boyfriend made his decision. He may care about you, but he loves them. He cannot change, nor does he want to change. So your only option is to lay it out to him, that he can see his family all he wants, but he needs to stop dropping his plans to cater to them. If he has no plans, then of course go babysit or hang out, but if you two have plans, errands, or want to spend some alone time together, that takes precedence over mum and dad wanting to go out and eat or go away for the weekend. But I think you and your boyfriend are just now incompatible, and if you stay, it's not going to get any better. And you have to realize that. How is it now is how it will be for the long future ahead. Successful Wish says, I'm sorry, but this story is super weird. You guys have been together for 7 years. In all that time, has your boyfriend ever prioritized you over his step-siblings? How old was he again when they came into the picture? Maybe I need to go back and read it again because seriously, I don't like the thoughts running through my head. I find it strange that a teen male would devote so much time to younger siblings, let alone step-siblings with whom he doesn't share a long history. And why is it that someone from your friend group knows more about this girl's background than you? It sounded like you were just now learning that there was some abuse. Opie says, honestly, I'm still floored by this. He hasn't messaged me back. I went out with a friend for a bit and we got frosty talking about it. Apparently, he's told a ton of people in our friend group more about his personal life than he's ever told me. One of the dudes in the group chat when I confronted the group chat about it said it's because he didn't want to put his issues on me. But like, I'm his partner. Next commenter says not the arsehole even a little bit. Your boyfriend is being used by these people and it sounds like he's so desperate for their acceptance he will literally rearrange his entire life, including major anniversary plans with you, to make sure that happens. Your boyfriend needs therapy. This isn't healthy. I wouldn't continue in the relationship unless he gets some much needed help. The OP does come in with their update and they said, stuff happened. I'm not going to try and include a timeline because everything has been very confusing and I stayed up until 4 AM the past couple of nights and just... time is an illusion. Anyhow, boyfriend finally contacted me. Came to my house, not text or called. Begged my father for forgiveness for his stepfather's actions. He started crying. My dad hugged him and brought him inside. I was pissed. I started screaming at him. My dad told me to let him speak. My boyfriend basically admitted that his stepdad was a piece of shit and that he abused his daughters. They'd go to their mothers, but she is equally as bad. He witnessed them being beat by their father when they first came into the picture. Stepdad never tried with him because he was too old and fit and my boyfriend would have floored him if he tried. There has been a few physical altercations between them. The sisters see my boyfriend as their only safe space and both of them wrote me a handwritten apologies. Wasn't anything fancy, but my boyfriend knows me well enough that a text won't do shit for her. If you are sorry, write it out or tell her face to face. They weren't strong enough to face me though, but that's fine. I don't blame them. The situation is just fucked up. My boyfriend told me that friendships and personal situations going on involving his life, while we're growing up, were his business in his eyes. Everything that was hurting him, everything that hurt our friends, he was always the one people called on because he wouldn't tell, and that it wasn't just a I don't want to tell you kind of way. It was a this is there in my lives and there is an inability to vocalize how much things can hurt, or knowing something is wrong and telling someone else only to know they'd be more upset for you than you're upset for you. Sucks. He knew if I ever found out about the abuse, I'd have told my dad. He said this in front of my dad, and my dad said it was understandable. Like, Dad, hello? Because you'd take the girl's father away from them, and unless your mother is willing to adopt them both, you'd lose the girls entirely. Dad seemed to get it before I got it. Convo lasted a few hours. My boyfriend asked me if I could forgive him. I told him only if things changed somehow. I asked how I could help. He said I couldn't. He asked to speak to my father in private. They did. Then they left for a bit. The girls and my boyfriend have been staying at my house since they got back. Police officers have been by a few times. Apparently, my dad is protecting the kids now, and my boyfriend's going to start a case against their father. My dad is acting as a voice of support and reason. My dad has some sway around here, and so people listen to him. My boyfriend's asleep in my bed right now. First time he's been allowed to sleep in forever. His sisters are asleep on an air mattress in the living room. Both did end up apologizing to me. The Disneyland bit was because they were scared to be left home alone for a week without my boyfriend there. Nothing more. They were downright fearful to be alone with their father and my boyfriend's mum. Apparently, she's been abusing them too, without my boyfriend knowing. They told the cops last night. There is a lot going on. A lot of it is confusing to me, and it's been a whirlwind. Disney has become a family plus girls trip if the cops, courts, whoever the fuck will let us. My mum and dad will take the girls, and me and my boyfriend will have our original plans. If not, my mum and dad have promised to be there for the girls. My mum's been teaching younger stepsister how to do braids and stuff. It's been sweet. My friends kinda are upset with me because I pushed my boyfriend to tell me a lot of their personal secrets and issues. And then I blew up on them for not telling me. It wasn't my place, I know that. I just had to know how much was going on behind my back involving my boyfriend. I didn't need to know, I just wanted to. He told me begrudgingly, and that's my bad 1000%. I didn't realize half the shit people relied on him for. Everyone relied on him. It's depressing how much I didn't know, but it's also relieving to know that he's genuinely that great of a guy. I'm going to do my best to make it up to him. OP adds an additional comment which sort of acts as kind of like an update as well and said, if anything is confusing, I'll try to answer some questions. I just woke up and was trying to make sense of this mess. I'm numb at the moment. Happy I think, but numb. My life has changed a lot as well. The girls told me stuff I never knew. I cried with them last night. There's been a lot of crying. We were all up till 4 AM just sitting in the living room eating snacks and watching movies and talking about it all. They've gone through shit. Their mum was worse than their dad, but their dad was horrible. Older stepsister is traumatized of driving and doesn't like driving because their mum would get high as fuck when older stepsister was like 7 or 8. She'd force older stepsister to drive her places, and it scared the shit out of her. She'd get beat if she didn't listen. Nobody really knew. The girl's mum went to jail for drug possession, and that's how their dad ended up single with the girls. He actually, within a month, met and got with boyfriend's mum. He, I think, was just looking to dump his daughters on someone so he didn't have to be a dad. But boyfriend's mum didn't like the extra workload, and so her abuse was more neglect and spite. Because she blamed the girls for their stepdad not really loving her, boyfriend ended up being told by the parents to take care of the girls, and if he didn't, he had to watch the girls be neglected by his mum or beat by their dad, or just miserable. He's the only reason they've had their lives at this point. They were scared I hated them. They were so scared I would take away their brother. It was painful. I didn't realize I became such a villain in their eyes. I cried a lot. Someone responds to that and says to OP, this ain't on you, and many people would have felt the same, and your boyfriend is a good brother, a good man, but he wasn't being a good partner at the time to keep secrets. And now your lives are intertwined, you need to keep transparency when you live together. And OP responded saying, my mum did say that he's still a child, like I'm still a child. We're young adults, but we're children when it comes to life. That we're going to make mistakes, make the wrong choices, make the hard choices that make others unhappy. That we're going to have to learn to be happy with what we're given and make do with what's hard to stomach. That would make it through if I remember what she's taught me over the years, from watching dad pull all-nighters at work, missing dinners and family events. He was saving lives, but he was abandoning us at times. Like good men will try to save the world, and sometimes that means that you have to accept it. I think a big part of it all was that I saw a lot of my dad and my boyfriend. They have the same kind of heart. They want to protect and take care of others. Fuck, I'm crying typing this. Sometimes that means that when things are hard, I'm not going to be the priority. I have to either accept it or reject it, and find someone that can make me the priority. I need therapy. And there's a lot going on in that one story, isn't there? You know, their romantic relationship and then the abuse of the sisters at the same time. And all of this is intertwined and really messed up. And it sounds like it's ongoing at the same time as well. And some people were saying like that OP was wrong for kind of like forcing this information out of him. And I got to say, I don't feel the same about that, in my opinion. And of course, you know, boyfriend is an incredibly and sad situation, and there's probably a lot going on in his mind, but he was still not communicating with his partner, and his partner's like, what the hell's going on here? You know, totally confused and just want some information from OP, especially someone that could have been supporting him. And I'm glad that they are, the brother, the sisters, are getting support from OP's family. They sound like they're wonderful people and going to try their best for them. And I really hope whatever happens in the future that things do move more in a positive way. I'll certainly keep an eye out for updates on that one, because I really hope things move in the right direction for him. It sounds incredibly sad. Something like, I know Reddit says it quite a lot, but it does sound like a lot of therapy is needed for these people, the sisters, the brother, even OP said themselves. But what do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And let's move on to another story. And our next story comes from the Am I the Arsehole subreddit from OnlyFox774 and says, am I the arsehole for not paying the full amount for a family style dinner where I only ate bread? My wife and I are both vegan, but we don't make a big deal out of it. We don't judge others for their choices, and we don't expect them to accommodate us. We usually just find something we can eat wherever we go, or eat beforehand if we know the options are limited. One of my friends invited us to his birthday dinner at a restaurant in Brooklyn. He said it was a last minute thing and he didn't have time to make reservations, so we just had to show up and hope for the best. We checked the menu online and saw there were not many vegan options except for chips and guacamole, hummus and bread. We decided to eat a snack at home and then order drinks and appetizers at the restaurant. We also have been tight with money lately because some medical expenses, so we didn't want to spend too much on food we couldn't eat anyway. When we got to the restaurant, we found out that we're doing it all family style and splitting the bill evenly among everyone. There are about 15 people in our group and they ordered a lot of food, most of which was meat or cheese based. The only thing we could eat was the bread, so we just had a couple of slices of each and 2 beers each. At the end of the night, my friend sent me a Venmo request for $120 for our share of the dinner. I was shocked by the amount, since our 4 drinks were only $32 plus tip, so about $40. I texted him back and explained that we didn't know it was going to be family style and that we only had the beers and some bread. I said I would send him $60 to cover our drinks and a bit extra for the bread. He got angry and said that we should have told him we were vegan and that it was rude to not participate in the family style dinner. He said that everyone else paid for their fair share and that we were being cheap and selfish. He said that he expected us to pay the full amount. The decision is to make it a family style meal was done last second too, because the restaurant had no idea a party of 15 was showing up. Otherwise we could have split the bill per party and been fine. I don't think we did anything wrong. We didn't ask for any special treatment and we didn't complain about the food. We just ate what we could and tried to have a good time. We also didn't want to make a scene or cause any drama by announcing our dietary preferences. We thought $60 was more than enough for what we consumed, and we didn't want to pay for food we couldn't eat. Am I the arsehole? I'm going to start in the comments with Biomax, who quotes and says, everyone else paid their fair share, and then says, for you to pay your fair share means paying the $40 worth of food and drinks you ordered, plus an extra happy birthday $20. Not the arsehole. Sam Spade PI says, everyone sucks here. You should have told him when you realized that everyone was going to order family style and split the bill evenly, that you and your wife wanted to be excluded since you were vegan. That way you could have ordered what you wanted and paid for what you wanted, and the rest of the bill could have been split evenly amongst those who enjoyed it. By not mentioning you were vegan, pretending to go along with it, then refusing to pay more than your share, you heaped the $60 you refused to pay onto your friend, rather than having it split evenly over the entire group. He gets arsehole status too, however, for inviting people out for his own birthday, cringe, and for calling you rude not to participate in a family style dinner. I don't get the last bit of that comment. Isn't it quite normal to invite people out for your own birthday, for drinks and stuff? I think it's pretty normal in the UK. OK Profession says, I don't know, I kind of feel like you're the arsehole. Presumably they ordered a lot because they thought you were eating with them. Hey guys, wife and I are vegans, so we're going to opt out of the family style meal and just order some chips and guacamole for ourselves. Menu looks good, enjoy. Would that have really been so difficult? Bringing it up afterwards feels a bit arsehole-ish to me. Goffer says, miscommunication, everyone sucks here. Thought exercise. Your friend either has to pony up himself or more likely text the other 11 to 12 people and say, okay, listen everyone, Ken and Barbie decided not to pay, so can everyone pay me another $10 please? Which of course will lead to 100 texts and weeks of drama. Or better yet, maybe you should beat him to the punch and send the text for him. Put your best spin on it. Good luck with that. My guess is halfway through writing this text you're going to choose to just pay the $120. Call it an expensive birthday gift and lesson to learn from, and move on. And next time, be just a little more upfront. None of this is your fault exactly, but if you don't tell anyone, it's not exactly their fault either. And I have to say, there's lots of back and forth on this. People arguing about this sort of stuff, saying that OP should have brought it up at the very start because they knew it was a family, they were doing it family style. Other people saying that, the group shouldn't have assumed family style was okay for everyone straight away. There's some arguments between that. And I think I have to admit slightly, I'm on the side of that, it should have been brought up from the very start. If you weren't happy about paying family style, you should have said at the very start, because as some of the comments said, there's 15 people there. They may not have noticed that you weren't eating or drinking very much, etc. I know when I'm in large groups of people, I don't particularly pay attention to what anyone's eating or drinking. I think at the same time, putting myself in the host shoes, and I text you and said, oh, could you pay me X amount? And you turned around and said, oh, I didn't eat very much or drink very much. Here's this payment. I think I would kind of understand, whilst being slightly annoyed at the same time, that you didn't bring it up beforehand, because now I'd have to text all those people again and ask for additional money, which can be embarrassing. And it's just annoying in general that it wasn't brought up to begin with. I don't know, I think there'll be varying opinions on this one, but like that other comment said, just miscommunication. What do you guys make of this one? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Have you ever found yourself in that situation? Again, let us know. Just a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for getting involved in today's stories. Your love, your support, your time always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much. And hopefully I will see you in the next one. Take care and much love.